Welcome back to Popes and Pylons, where we play Europa Universalis IV with the new Cradle of Civilization expansion. We are playing as Avaria, going for the Avar Khaganate achievement, which involves grabbing Hungary over here and becoming an empire on the way. I'm Jan, and this is episode number 11, if I'm not mistaken. Now, last time we showed you the power of having the Ottomans as an ally, and we just declared war on QQ and basically let the Ottomans do all the warring for us. We made the mistake, more or less, of trying to help a tiny bit, which cost us 11,000 troops at some point, but the Ottomans really did all of this for us and gave us a ton of land, all the striped land down here with very, very valuable provinces in there, including 2 centers of trade, giving us a decent amount of trade power already, and much more soon enough down here in the Persia trade node. Now, normally it can be bad to collect from more than one place, because if you look at this, we're losing, we're currently gaining a bonus on one of these things. Down here we're gaining plus 20% trade power bonus because we are just transferring trade power in other places and not collecting from any other place. That said, there's almost no money in this trade node anyway. Losing 20% power, and it's not 20% of this, it's just 20% of our power points over here, in order to actually collect in Persia might quite be worth it. So let's just have a month pass, so we have this stat in there, so we see how much money we're collecting now. And then what I'm going to do is send a merchant, or tell this merchant down here to stop transferring and instead start collecting, and see what that does to our trade income. That could make us quite a bit of money. Speaking of money, we have taken 2 forts down here. I don't like having so many forts, paying for so many forts. That said, there's probably some devastation around here. Actually none around here. There's some on Shirvan and here. So we could tear down this fort in Tabriz. On the other hand, it's a mountain fort, which is really good for defending, and there might be another war against QQ. So let's see how our finances shake out if we can afford to keep these forts up, because that would be nice for future defense. Also, it will help us to fight against rebels that we might not be able to prevent from spawning down here. I'm gonna try my best to stop all the rebels to come up, but if we can't do that, then we can't do that. I said at the end of last episode that we've broken down the Kazani separatists. We actually have not, so let's stay here for a bit longer to keep those separatists down, at least until this conversion is done here and we can switch back to a reduce unrest edict, which we've been using a couple of places. So this call for beast is going to go away in a second. Overextension we're working on. Quest, do we have reduce overextension as a quest? We do. That's just going to give us some free Diplo rep for something we're doing anyway. So that's good. Let's do this. Lost the Conquest Casus Belli, that's fine. We took all the land that we had claims on, so that's where we lost that. Crimea, sure, you can have military access. The Ottomans are now fighting the rebels that they took in the war they were fighting for us. Well, and here goes our option of taking stuff from Nogai, probably. I think Muscovy is just going to take all that land, which is going to be problematic. And they're still happy enough to defend Ryazan here. Really need Muscovy to go into a big war before we can take anything else from Ryazan. There's a coalition coming up. It's a bit scary. I mean, we saw that at the end of the war there was an option for a coalition. I said it wasn't too scary because it was mostly small people and we have the Ottomans protecting us. But maybe if the Ottomans are too war-weary, they are not going to protect us, and then this coalition might just kill us. Do we want to stay at high legalism? Are we going to tech soon? We have institution ticking up quite a bit. This tech's not particularly important. We're doing an idea group here. So we could do the move towards mysticism. That said, all we get right now for moving towards mysticism here is reduced bonuses. We only get bonuses from mysticism once we're in the other direction. Could press this button, which moves us 50 towards mysticism, gets us halfway there. I don't know if you can just press it twice to get to 0. It's reducing corruption, which we really don't have any of, so the only reason to press this button would be if we're going to say right now, okay, we now want mysticism instead of legalism. I think I'm going to stay at legalism for now. I like reduced tech costs. Do we need to improve with people? It's probably decent to improve our relations with the Ottomans, just so they keep protecting us and don't run away and notice at some point that they really don't get anything from having us as allies, and we're only using them as a blunt instrument. Our army is not so grand. Yeah, increased infantry cavalry cost, that's fine. I'm not going to buy any anyway for a bit. Random events. Influence gone from the merchants. More influence gone from the merchants. We could have loyalty on the emirs, lose loyalty on the merchants, which I don't like. Lose army tradition, which I don't like, and gain some influence on the emirs, which I don't like. Lose loyalty on the emirs. This is better. It's still annoying, but it's better. At least it doesn't put us into dangerous territory. It just makes the emirs a bit unhappy. Now we really want this land to core as quickly as humanly possible, so that we can state it, increase autonomy, and turn on the reduce unrest edict, because otherwise we're going to have to deal with a ton of separatists. Lose a lot of ducats but gain 5 professionalism, and Khorasan will dislike us, or Khorasan will just like us. I don't care about Khorasan's opinion. Do we want to pay 123 ducats for 5 armed professionalism? Professionalism is good, and we kind of get to keep it for the rest of the game unless we hire tons of mercenaries. Even then, having it is better than not having it. That said, 5% does what? It's 5% actually means, so it's a fifth of this. So it's 1% siege ability and 0.5% of that fire damage, shock damage. And a lot of our ducat pool right now. I think I'm going to take the opinion with Khorasan. If I had more ducats, I would definitely take the other thing. But right now we're losing money and trying to keep up a lot of forts. Khorasan, maybe we could even at some point ally Khorasan. We neighbor them? I don't know. I'm not sure. We have 3 rivals, right? Yeah, we do. And we still have incited rival? We do, so we can't go above our power projection yet. We really need a good war against somebody like Ryazan. Unfortunately, Muscovy is just intending on protecting them still. But the reasons are going down. Maybe if they have a long war, we could be in luck. Again, I'm going to drop the prestige instead of dropping power. I think we're going to have to develop a new institution, colonialism, because it's going to take forever to spawn towards us. It's just slowly going to come from here. And I believe it's doesn't simply spawn to neighbors, but just friendly neighbors. Let's just double check that. Colonialism. Okay, port neighboring province gives a good spread, or neighboring friendly province. Yes, we have no ports. Actually, we just maybe took a port. No, I don't think we did, but we can double check that. And we don't have nearby friendly provinces, and unless it spreads to the Ottomans in 100 years. No, we still don't have any ports. So it's going to take forever for this to spawn. So what we should do is spawn colonialism on our own. And in order to do that, we need to find a nice place to do the development in. Let's see. If I sort by the cost of doing development, Turkey would be the cheapest. Why? Because it's small. Drylands increases a bit. So I like having a place with a negative modifier to the cost. These are all the same. Here we have prosperity. And yes, an increase due to development. But the higher developed province is, the higher the gain from developing is also. So that would be fine. That said, they still have 40% local autonomy, which again means that our development is less effective for us. Do we have any place with low local autonomy? Kuncia. You have reduction because it's my capital, okay, but high increase due to mountains, so that's not a good idea. Or Lakia, also mountains, or Dagestan, which is just neutral. And still has 25, but this 25 is probably just a floor from the estate. So that would be an option, but you have a terrible trade good. What's the trade good in Astrakhan? Wool. It's not much better. Do we have anything with a good trade good and decent price? High local autonomy, unfortunately. Steppes. Steppes. And steppes. So the iron steppes, apparently. Yeah. So it's none of these. Could take one of these down here because they have great trade goods, but they will have very high autonomy and they will be very rebellious. We don't want to do that. So I think Astrakhan is actually the place to go. How's your unrest, Astrakhan? You do have some still, but that's going to go away with the war exhaustion and the overextension going away soon. So, but then we have to turn on the increased development edict, which in turn means we turn off the feudal digital law edict, which reduces unrest, so we gain some more unrest. Do we have Astrakhani separatists? Right now we do not. I think we're gonna risk it and then simply turn back to the other edict in a year. That should be fine, I hope. Let's just hope that this works out the way we want it to. So, if we want to do development, we have no corruption, essentially, that's fine. So we have no negative modifiers. The burghers are happy, which is great. We turn on the encourage development edict. And are the burghers happy enough? Could I make you more happy? I think if I increase your influence, these effects increase. Not sure if that's actually true. I think it might be true. So if that's true, giving the burghers more influence would be nice, but still can't get any generals. We also want diplomatic support from them. Also reason to increase their influence. So let's see if we can give them some land. Estates, merchant guilds. There's no land that we have that they want. Could probably give them some stuff down here once it's cored. Now I just already switched the edict. I don't think I can switch it back, even though I didn't unpause. No. And waiting for these cores is just going to be too long, right? They're going to take another 2 years. Yeah, that's too long. So we're just going to have to live with a 5% reduction in coring cost, in development cost. That's going to be fine. So I don't really want to spend military because I want to spend on the ideas. I have spent all the admin on coring that I need. I will need some more need for admin once we have these stated, but that's a lot less important. So let's go start with some admin in there and then push all the diplo in there that we can get and gain a lot of colonialism on the way. Do a lot of admin development, a lot of diplo development, and some more admin development. And that's all we can do for now. Hopefully some more soon. How close did we get to spawning colonialism? About halfway. So it's gonna cost us quite a bit to continue doing this, but I'm really sure we want to do this. I don't want to wait forever for colonialism, so we are way behind on tech. That would be unfortunate. Let's keep doing these things, keep hoping that these rebels don't take up too much. Why are you not drilling? You really should be drilling. Keep ticking. Advisors. We're actually making money now, which is great. Could grab a Diplo advisor for additional money making. And the only one we get is trade efficiency guy over here. Speaking of, I wanted to do the trade change. So how much trade did we get last month? Trade. Made 3 ducats, 3.74 ducats from trade. Now, what I'm going to do is tell this guy to collect from trade. So 3.74 becomes... Sure, that's great. Becomes 3.81. Okay, it's a tiny bit more. It's not insane. Yeah, but we are gaining a tiny bit more money now with collecting. And it should become more the better the lower the autonomy in these provinces ends up being. That said, does it mean? Oh, we can actually send somebody to Samarkand now. So we have a third merchant somewhere stupid. Actually, putting it to Samarkand doesn't do a ton. Wow, we have no power anymore in Persia. What happened here? Oh, that's because we're collecting from there. So we still want somebody transferring, instead of Aleppo, transfer here. That should maybe give us a tiny bit more. Yeah, that's actually a good gain in trade. We're now at 4 ducats from trade. Still paying a lot for the forts, but we're gaining a lot from war reparations too. So overall, that's going to be fine. That's the other thing I didn't discuss before when I talked about collecting. Not only do you lose, for collecting not in your main trade city, you not only lose the bonus from transferring, but I have to check this out in a second, but you also get a giant negative modifier over here, if I can find us even, Avaria. We get from overextension and another 16.8 reduction from collecting trade not in my main trade city. But the overextension is going to go away, so that should actually give us a lot more money then. We could think about using one of these new policies here. Hostile trading gives increased spy network creation, which we don't want. This gives improved relations bonus, which we also don't really need, although it would help with the coalition issue maybe, but not up here in Astrakhan, maybe down there in Persia. How is our coalition looking? Right now it's just Gilan in there. QQ hates us but can't do anything. Khorasan could be a thing. So if we, since we're not making a ton of money, just 0.35 in Persia anyway right now, might as well swap over to improve relations. So Khorasan starts hating us less. For 12 months. Sure, let's do that. So now what's Bronsk? Bronsk is a Ryazanian province that we just lost a claim on. So let's start building that spy network again. Tells you how long we've been waiting for Ryazan to be unprotected. Let the time tick a bit. Do we do more development? I think we do. We just do the development as the money, as the points come in, so we gain the most from it. So put that admin in there, put that Diplo in there. And keep going. And I'm not doing the military, although maybe it would be worth it. I'm not sure. Could go for the idea, get land leader fire, or use the military for some more development so we get the institution earlier. I think if we're developing, we should just go all in. So let's just do this. And we're getting close to spawning colonialism in our lands. And of course we have friendly provinces around it that will help spreading it once we have it in one province. I hate that we don't have the power projection, but we really can't go to war with our rivals at the moment. You paid the foreign debt of AQ, that's fine. Come back from the Ottoman for a bit. There, the cores coming in, it's very, very important. Maybe that's already enough. No, I don't think it's enough yet. For state, no. I want to state it as soon as possible, so we can fight that unrest. Move towards legalism, which we're at. Lose 10 prestige again. Gain loyalty on the Olima, which doesn't really matter. And lose taxes, or go towards mysticism, lose some loyalty, which is fine. Gain unrest in the lower Yik area. Now, where's lower Yik again? Geographical areas. Give me the actual names. Lower Yik. This area, we gain 5 unrest. How are you doing on unrest here? Yeah. Fine. Fine. And until for 10 years. I think we can handle that. Take a jump towards mysticism since we're not taking tech very soon anyway. Okay, that's done. And still waiting for states. We can convert provinces, or we can also switch the edict up there. We could either convert at Kara, but I really don't want to do that right now because they're still being unhappy. So instead I'm going to switch your edict to reduce unrest. And then move these guys down here to reduce the unrest down here. This is really a rebel management game at the moment. The wars are really not that important because we have somebody else doing it for us. There's a lot of cores, that's going to help. But we have to find a way to deal with all the results from having so much new land that really doesn't want to be my land. So that's Shirvan stated. And I guess I want to core it. Do I? You are fine to just increase autonomy on. You don't need to be cored because you're above the floor anyway. So I just hit this button here. Shirvan, I don't know, it doesn't really tell you what the real autonomy is, which is really unfortunate. If this told me how much the real autonomy is, I could do a much better decision of whether I want to spend the admin of coring or not. Knowing that I don't really have admin to spend right now, I'm just going to do this. They're probably around 40-something% anyway in their autonomy. So let's just go ahead, increase the autonomy and increase the autonomy. Pain, pain, pain. And we're gonna have to do the same for Tabriz, which, yeah, same issue. Just gonna press the button and not think about it too much. You have insane autonomy anyway. So you guys I can't increase autonomy on, but on Tabarestan I should be able to state that and then say reduce unrest here. Okay. What did that do to my trade? It's a bit better now. We're now collecting a ducat. Actually making 5 ducats from trade now. It's starting to become an actual real number for our country. Excellent. Missions. Conquer Yelets or protect the brethren in something. I don't know where either is. Yelets is up here. Okay, that's Ryzen. We already have a claim on this, but we could have a mission to actually take it. Yes, I have a claim on it. Or what's the other one? Suzerain? Yeah, that's Muscovy. That's a no. So we could take this mission if we could declare war on Ryzen, which we cannot because Muscovy is still happy to defend them. So I'm just going to wait on taking any sort of mission. And I'm not going to do the coring right now because I want to spend the admin over here in Astrakhan for even more institution spread. And spend the military too. We're getting close. We're at 89 point something, so almost 90, and we get... It doesn't tell us, unfortunately. Well, we don't have the power. Just wait for a bit. We'll see. Having the power, speaking of, we should be able to give stuff to the merchant guilds. No. Is there really no province down here that the merchants would want? Oh, because it's territorial cores. So I would have to core it before I can give it to them. So it costs me admin, but I gain Diplo because I then can milk the merchants. Maybe that's fine. I want the coring anyway, especially on these trade provinces here. So I'm gonna core you. And then give you to the merchants, which puts them to far away from enough influence, but it's a start. And really I wanted to do the same with Tabriz, but it needs 105. Wow. Just because it's a great province. 32 development, wow. That was a great take. I really want that chord, definitely. So can I get the merchants? I don't think I can get the merchants high enough yet. 47, because we can't get admirals. I can just get them to 57. That's not enough, right? 57. Oh, minister, 57, 67, almost. If I can give them one more piece of land, then we can actually start milking them. Good. What about you guys? Milk in 15, 16, 2 years. It's also good because we're gonna need a lot of monarch power once again as soon as we have the institution, so we can take the tech. Speaking of the institution, we can hire engineer, gain military power. I like it. Lose ducats. Yeah, I'll pay ducats for military power. We get 6 colonialism, so it's 2 more. So I just press 2 more buttons and then we're done here. on the development. So press that button, and colonialism is present. Thank you. That means I can turn off this edict, and I don't actually need the reduce unrest edict anymore. So I can turn on, I could turn on institution spread. Do we want that? No, we're already at the point where we can eventually embrace. We just need to collect money now. So let's just turn off the edict to gain more money. There we go. And what about conversion? At Kara I said no because of unrest. What about Voronezh? They have rebelled. I think that's a good time to convert them. And if I'm converting them, I want the conversion edict. That costs money again, but I mean, sure. You are supposed to be drilling in a place where you're actually needed for the unrest reduction. You do how much unrest reduction? You do -4, puts them to -1.8. Yeah, alright. It's gonna be okay. Can no longer claim that things would be part of a realm. Uzbek. So this was Uzbek land. It was probably not Uzbek land originally. It was probably Nogai land that's been then taken by Uzbek, I assume. Or maybe I did fabricate some claims on Uzbek at some point. Uzbek, do you have allies? Just daily. We don't really border you, but we might border you soon. Oh, I think I did that because I assumed they would take Nogai at some point. But no, instead Muscovy's gonna do that. We'll see how this shakes out. Keep going. War. Come on, Muscovy. We're actually very close to being able to declare war on Ryazan up there. Not that I have the resource right now really for such a war. More of these buttons. Yes, yes, fine, fine. Enforce it. But I think I'm going to move my troops up there. Just in case we can actually do this war. And I know troops you have to walk back and forth a lot. But look, oh no, never mind. Something must have happened. They were very close to not saying yes, and now they're very much into defending again. And we need like 100 admin to core this place to give that to the merchants. So keep on collecting that admin. Ulima gains so many of these events. Tons of text. Gain corruption. I don't want to gain corruption. Lose loyalty, it's fine. Lose corruption is fine. We don't have any. Some unrest, yeah, whatever. Nogai is no longer valid rival. That gave us some power protection. And the insult thing is gone, so we can insult one of our rivals. Who's our new rival, though? Ooh, lots of options. Genoa is probably scary, even though they have no army. Transoceania actually has less of an army than we do right now, and Uzbek is really low. But we don't really have land access to Uzbek. What happened to Transoceania? Did you fight losing wars? Still allied to Fars and Jarkand. So that's kind of scary. But I mean, you hate us anyway. I'm gonna rival you. Period. Right? Anybody else? Poland, Muscovy? No, 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 no. Khorasan? It's an option. But they have a bigger army than we do. Uzbek has like no army. This is very tempting. I could vassalize them, maybe. I'm probably too big to vassalize. It's also the wrong direction of expansion. But so are these guys. What about Genoa? Genoa, Papal States, Siena. Yeah, no. It's not a thing. I am unsure. I think it's just going to be Transo. Over there. Transoceania. There. Cancel the embargo against Nogai because we don't have you as a rival anymore. And then I'm gonna embargo these people. And that gives us over 50, and then I'm gonna insult somebody in a second so we can go even higher and not drop below 50 immediately again. We have no truce against you, so I can just insult you, right? Where is it? Send an insult. Confirm. There we go. Puts us to 56. We gain additional monarch points, which is nice. Almost at that. Don't want this yet. And that probably means that we want some claims on these guys. If they are rivals, I should probably build a spy network on them to do this. And you're supposed to be drilling. Drill, drill, drill. Drill, baby, drill. Gain conquest against Muscovy, yeah, because they took all this Nogai land. Nogai, are you going to be protected by anybody? AQ and Khorasan, would you actually protect them, though? Come back for a second from Transo. Just so we can see if there's sort of a land grab we can do here. Declare war, no, you would be protected. Okay, I don't feel like a war for crappy land. This is probably really bad land. Well, this place is okay. And this is terrible. So yeah, let's go back to building a spy. No, not counter-espionage. Build spy network. There we go. Drill, baby, drill. And yes, Muscovy, whatever. Gilani separatists in Lahijan. This place. Oh yeah, it's one of the places where I could not raise autonomy. Well, that's gonna be fine, I think. But maybe that's a reason to actually move my drilling troops to one of these places. Instead of here where we have virtually no unrest anyway. Is there actually no unrest? Or did it just not update yet? Oh, there's some unrest here. But that's fine. Okay. Stability drop. Did we die? Yeah, we died a little too soon. This is quite unfortunate because, as you know, we had a terrible, terrible air. Regency Council is better than our air, so that's fine, but the air is just... We've got to get rid of that guy as soon as we possibly can, when he is our actual ruler. Yeah, because everything else just going to hurt us so much in the monarch points to just keep that guy around. So I'm going to call this, and then be able to... What did I want to do here? Oh yeah, give this to the merchants. Merchants... Influence to 60, which should be enough, I think. We can do plus 25, that puts us... Oh, plus 15, that's perfect. Yeah. So now we can ask these merchants to give me a minister, put me to 75, and then demand diplo support, 150, yoink. I would like these guys to be happy so we don't have rebels, but I don't really see how we would do that right now. So the emirs are going to be unhappy for a bit. Alright, that was a pretty successful episode, I would say. Not that we took more stuff, that was last time, but we defended our stuff well. The coalition is not looking scary at the moment, it's just Gilan in there, and we're working on getting rid of them being annoying. We're still sort of successfully fighting these rebels. I think we can keep them down. Actually, the most scary ones are maybe even these noble rebels over here, but that's also going to be fine. I don't think we're going to have rebel issues around this time around. We've spawned the institution. It's not spread enough yet, and it's probably not going to spread enough before we gain the actual money. Yeah, it's spreading. Well, it's 50% in Sarai, so maybe we can spread it to somewhere. Why is it so high in here? Why do you have such a high spread of colonialism? You have a spread modifier. Did you turn on the spread edict? Or is that like the trade good thing? This wool does that? Do that? No. Did it turn on the edict? No. Why do you have a 25% spread modifier? That interests me now. Where'd you go? Plus 25%. Nearby friendly province has colonialism. And these? Oh, we have 25% everywhere apparently. Oh, but Sarai is just bigger. That's why it's spreading so much faster. That's the one we developed earlier. All right. Okay, so Sarai might get it, and then we're going to spend the money on embracing it, which is going to cost us a lot, but we're on the way there. And Sarai is big, so once Sarai has taken it, that should take a lot of money out of here. We see Sarai alone costs 36. That's not that much. Still, going to embrace that, and then we can go back to actually taking technologies. And we're ahead into time still in 2 of the technologies, so it's fine. And Diplotech really not apparently important to us. Yeah. Well, successful episode. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. If you'd like this, please do the usual, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, comment if you've seen something that you particularly liked or particularly disliked or have questions about, just comment away. And thank you so much for watching, and see you guys next time.